Hello there, thank you for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. I'm on a train. It is Tuesday, the 25th, 6th, 25th, I think. Can't see because my watch is very helpfully covering up the date. My watch hand, look, can't see the date. Anyway, it's Tuesday the 20-something of November. It's just gone 12:30 in the afternoon and I'm on a train to Waterloo. What fun. It's a very empty train, as I'm sure you can see. But I'm using this camera because I brought my other camera with me and it's just told me it's nearly out of battery, which is really, really helpful, considering that I charged it the other night. Obviously one of those phantom turn-on situations, so maybe I'll charge it in a minute in my bag. Pretty certain I've got a charger. There's a plug down here, I could use that, couldn't I? Yeah, anyway, so basically just had a meeting with a social services person at my mother-in-law's house about Anthony, asking lots of questions about the situation at home, Anthony's mum, Anthony's illnesses, Anthony's abilities, blah blah blah. That started at 11. I've had to leave early though in order to come here because I have a meeting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so hopefully I will make it in time. But that's what I'm doing right now. It's a nice day. Probably someone will come, probably some phantom person who isn't actually really here will come and complain to me in a minute about me talking so loudly in the train, but I don't care. It's a nice train. It's very quiet. Yeah. Did a bunch of work obviously before I left home this morning, but that's what's happening right now. Right, here we are. We're working back in Canary Wharf today in Torchwood Tower. Haven't been here for a while. Only been in it once before, even though it's officially where my company is based. Well, I say my company, not my company. I don't own it. Chance would be a fine thing. I'm just lucky to be employed, I suppose, really. Anyway, I've just been emailed a shiny new pass for the building because the last time I came here, our office on floor 29 wasn't officially open. So hopefully I can get in now and maybe I'll come here a bit more regularly. Who knows? Who knows? Here's an interesting sculpture. Tandem Lovers, it's called. Right, I'm going to switch off so I can go in. I got the floor wrong, it's floor 32. That's my view today. Lovely. Hello. It's about 8:15. I'm back at Hook train station because I parked my car at my mother-in-law's house. I'm very tired. Tomorrow I've got to go and visit Liz at the hospital. Thursday is going to be my normal long day of going to Wimbledon and then visiting Liz at the hospital. I'm going to be very glad when this week is over, I have to say. All this leaving the house business. You wouldn't believe that I used to do this 3 times a week. I would spend an hour and a half driving to Horsham every day, 10-hour working day, hour and a half driving back. And then before that, I was working in Scandinavia. It seems like a lifetime ago. I honestly can't imagine how I did it. I'm getting very old and tired these days. I suppose getting old is better than the alternative, but you know, it's just kind of life. Lifey life. Train hasn't moved yet. Guard's getting back on. I think it might be going now, but who knows? Who the buggering hell knows, eh? I'm going to wait here until it's gone. I don't think it's going. What's going on? They'll be late. Riveting this, isn't it? You are riveted. Much like this bridge that I'm stood on. That's riveted.
Due to a safety inspection of the track at Basingstoke, some lines are blocked. Train services running through this station may be delayed. Disruption is expected until 8:30 p.m. today. For further information or ongoing travel advice, please speak to a member of staff. Use the station helpline or visit southwesternrailway.com/disruption. We are very sorry for any delay that this may cause to your journey.
Right, it ain't going anywhere. Safety inspection on the railway line ahead. So that was a total waste of time. I am sorry, dear viewer, for wasting your time in such an egregious manner. I'm going to go back. Whoop, it's the step. You nearly caught me falling over there. That would have been nasty. I would have gone right on my face and damaged lots of my extremities, but I didn't. Right, I'm going to go back to my car. I'm going to load all this stuff I'm carrying. I've been given a new bag from work as a Christmas present. Branded bag to go with the branded hoodie I got last year. I'm going to dump all this stuff in the car and I'm going to go home. Probably going to get some Lucozade on the way home because I love that stuff and I need the energy. Albeit it will be the sugar-free version, the pink lemonade one. By the way, this episode is not sponsored by Lucozade, but it could be. Your logo could appear here if you sponsored me. I take sponsorship in Daleks and on my Amazon wish list, and I also take sponsorship in new DJI drones or cameras. I'm not proud. That is how I take sponsorship. Please let me know. You know, over 400 viewers could be yours watching this. There could be an advert here right now. Imagine that. 400 people. 400 new sales that you might get. Sponsor me with equipment. There you go. I'm going to shut up now. Well, it's Thursday the 27th and I'm in Wimbledon, and I'm really wishing that I had listened to the little voice in my head that told me as I left the house this morning that today was going to be a bad day. The moment I left my house this morning, my shoes tried to kill me. They've tried to kill me 5 times in the last 2 days. And the very first step out of the house, they tried to trip me up. And I immediately thought I should just stay at home today. And I'll be honest with you, I wish I had. Because somebody's hit my car. Now, I'm going to go and inspect it because it's fucking daylight now, and apparently there's some kind of law that says that I have to operate in darkness. I leave the house in darkness, I get home in darkness. I have to pop out at lunchtime to go and assess the damage. I genuinely think it's going to buff out. But let me explain to you exactly what happened. I'll go and find the road for you. I did end up swearing at the other driver, which I'll be honest with you, was actually quite cathartic. It takes very little to push me over the edge lately. Over the last 2 years, since Liz has been in hospital, I have been on the edge constantly, and I got very angry, particularly when the guy tried to tell me it was my fault. Well, I'm afraid that's bad luck on his part, because I've got double dash cams. So I was able to prove, well, I will be able to prove that it wasn't my fault. I was stationary. We're nearly there, and then we'll go and look at the car. Anyway, this is Wimbledon at lunchtime, in case you were interested. I feel like my shoes are building up to trying to kill me again. Needless to say, I've had to reset the incident counter. We managed to get to 36 days without an incident, and as of now it's reset to 0. We're very close. So the car is in the building over to the right hand side, and I'll show you where I was. Interesting, they've got CCTV. I wonder if there's a camera covering this bit of road. Wasn't this one, because that's a one-way. We're nearly there. I know this is riveting footage that you're getting right now from me, but here we are. This is the bus lane, by the way, that the fascists got me once on. So I'm not having much luck at this junction. There it is. Or there's another zip car. Right. It was here. So this is in fact the car that I was involved in the accident with. And you can see here a little bit of damage there. Now what happened was, I was positioned just here at the end of this road, wanting to turn left. Couldn't immediately turn left because there was a huge queue of traffic. And here, where that van's just parked, was a lorry with a flatbed trailer. And there was a man either loading or unloading this black zip car onto the back of that trailer. And he basically reversed into my car, side to side, knocked my mirror. Now, essentially, the cars at that point became jammed together. And of course, as you can see, this is quite a narrow road. And it was also a very busy road this morning at 7:30. So I tried to move my car to unjam them and clear the road because there was, you know, we were blocking the road. And yeah, anyway, got out of the car to exchange details with this guy. And we're each taking photos of our vehicles, and he tells me it was my fault. I said, I'm sorry, mate. I've got front and rear dash cams and I wasn't moving. You reversed into me. And he tries to tell me that, in fact, no, it was me moving forward that caused the damage. I said, I dispute that. And I said, to be honest, if you hadn't hit me in the first place, it wouldn't be a problem, would it? And kind of pointed out to him that my career has been 35 years in insurance claims. I do kind of know what I'm talking about. Anyway, he wouldn't give me his name. He only gave me his name as Marius. He wouldn't give me his surname. He wouldn't give me his phone number. He wouldn't give me his insurance details. I gave him my card. And then he has the cheek to ask me for my driving license. And I'm like, I'm not giving you my driving license. You won't even give me your phone number. So that's a bit rich, isn't it? And then I proceeded to park my car, now being thoroughly pissed off. Let's have another look at the junction, shall we? I'm just going to pause this video and take a quick photo of this car. Anyway, I was literally just around the corner from the car park. As I say, this is the bus lane where the fascists got me. Now it turns out there is actually a sign saying bus lane, but it's so hidden amongst all the other signage that's there, and it's such a small sign. And if you don't know the area, basically by turning left at that junction, you're kind of suckered into going into a bus lane if you don't know it's there. So it's a nice little money earner for the fascists here, isn't it? Anyway, this is now where I turned in to park the car. As you could see, minimal damage to the other car, literally paintwork. But I've had to log an insurance claim because the guy said it was my fault. Well, I've got evidence on dash cam, 2 dash cams, that you reversed into me whilst I was parked, stationary. So, you know, good luck with that. Anyway, in here is where I park my car. So, should we go and have a look at it and see how it is? Now, I'm a creature of habit, and I park it in the same place every time that I'm here. But of course, I'm not often here. I'm going up a car ramp at the moment. I'll probably get run over. That'll just be a nice end to my day. Like I say, instant counters had to be reset. So we made it to 36 days without an incident, which is much longer than I expected. So I'm actually going to thank my lucky stars that we made it more than a month. But of course I expect now that the seal's broken, as they say. I'll probably get even more. So we're going to go up these steps here. And I can't. I have have to walk around the ramp. That's okay. This is my only chance to check the car in daylight. Yeah, so anyway, this guy's telling me that I've caused the damage. I dispute that. We were jammed together. And I literally said to him, well, if you hadn't hit me in the first fucking place, maybe we wouldn't have a problem. And then I called him a dickhead, which felt very cathartic. Anyway, here's my poor car. Let's have a look at the scrape in daylight, shall we? Right, that's dented there. And we've got a scrape here. Let me just check the other side to see what that shape's meant to be. Okay, so that shape there is fine. We've basically got two kind of dents here where I was reversed into. Let's check the mirror. So, I'm also not sure about this. That looks like it's been pulled out a bit. Yeah, I would say so. Okay, so that's what happens when some dickhead reverses into you. So, I'm going to have to get that sorted. I'm going to have to call the insurance company now and get it rectified. And then, so I was already in a steaming mood, of course, and then my shoes tried to kill me again. Right here, it's very slippery for some reason, and I fell arse over tit. Luckily there was no one to see, but nonetheless I fell arse over tit, and I swore very loudly quite a lot. And that, ladles and jelly spoons, that's how my day's going. And I should have listened to the voices in my head, and I should have just fucking stayed at home. And once again, Andrew gets blamed for everything. I get blamed because some fucking arsehole reversed into my car, and apparently that's my fault. Right, it's 22 minutes past 4, and I'm now leaving the multi-storey car park on the way to visit Liz. My lunchtime was literally completely, well, obviously I did a bit of filming for the vlog, and then I spent about 45 minutes on the phone to Enterprise Rent-A-Car, who I was asked to contact in lieu of my insurance company. They've outsourced it to Enterprise. And of course we went through all the details. You know, I explained that this guy was disputing that he was at fault, even though I was clearly stationary when he reversed into me. Blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, right? Anyway, the problem is, not the problem, but the small issue is that they couldn't find any insurance details for the actual car that hit me. But they were able to find the company that owned the flatbed truck. So the issue is that this is going to have to be a claim through their liability insurers and not their motor insurers, because, you know, I don't think that guy owned that car. He was just transporting it. So, blah, blah, blah. Right, that's all by the by. far as I'm concerned, I'm not to blame. But here's the thing, is they suddenly start talking about credit hire and credit repair. Now, I'll explain what that is in a minute if you don't know. I think it might be unique to the UK, I'm not sure, but this is something that I have been fighting against literally for decades as in my career in insurance, right? What's credit hire? Imagine I was driving down this road and I collided with the car in front of me. Obviously that would be my fault. The guy in front of me would obviously want to make a claim for the repairs to his or her car, and would also want to make a claim for the hire of another car whilst his or her car is in for repair. And what tends to happen is these ambulance chasing firms will get hold of people like that. They'll say, have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault, right? Yes, I have been in an accident that wasn't my fault. Well, we can sort the repairs and the hire out for you and you won't have to pay a penny. And they're like, oh, that sounds jolly good. In the past, you know, you might have had to hire another car and then claim the money back. Well, this is someone doing it for you. And they give you a rental car. It could be for months. Your car's off being repaired. You don't care. You're not paying for any of it. But what happens is, this is credit hire. You basically are given a car, a rental car on credit, knowing that in fact the cost of this will be paid by my insurer, for example, because I'm the responsible driver in this particular scenario. The credit hire company massively put up their rates because, of course, they're running at a risk that my insurers might not pay them back. So it turns out that the credit hire vehicle that you're not actually paying for could be as much as 5 times as much the cost of a regular hire car. But you don't care because you're not paying for it. Meanwhile, my insurers have to pay for it. And of course, whilst you're in a credit hire vehicle, you've got no particular incentive to chase up the repairs and hurry those along and get your car back as soon as possible because you're in a car. So basically, you can end up with months and months and months of car hire at extortionate rates that the responsible party's insurers have to pay for. And that's credit hire. And since the 1990s, insurance companies have been fighting this, right? Because the rates are extortionate. And there's a lot of interest in intervention. So, for example, if I was to collide with the car in front, and if I was to ring my insurance company and if they said, okay, right, you are to blame, they will make strenuous efforts to contact the driver of the car in front to get in before the credit hire company gets there so that they can actually control the costs of the credit hire vehicle. And I used to take great delight in taking credit hire companies to the court in the 1990s because we felt it was an illegal use of the Consumer Credit Act. People weren't actually told that ultimately if the credit hire company couldn't get their money back, ultimately the consumer is responsible, which legally is the case, right? And there was all sorts of, memorandums of understanding going around and all sorts of case law, and it went on and on and on and on and on. And I used to vehemently fight this. So imagine my shock and surprise to be told that my own insurance company is wanting to put me into a credit hire vehicle and arrange for credit repair. And I made it abundantly clear on the call to my insurance company that I was not happy with this, and I explained my background and that this is something I've been fighting against as part of the insurance industry for 30 years. And I was absolutely shocked and appalled to discover that in fact the insurance industry appears to be embracing credit hire now, and in fact first party insurers, my own insurance company, are offering credit hire and credit repair. And I said, I'm not about to enter into an agreement for which I'm ultimately liable, especially when I already know there's a fucking argument on liability because this twat says he's not responsible for reversing into a stationary car. I mean, how much more responsible can you be? So anyway, yeah, not happy about that. What happened to the days when you could ring your insurance company and they just fucking fix your car and charge you the excess and fuck off? It's needlessly complicated. Anyway, I kind of said my piece. I wasn't having a go at the lady. In fact, at the end of the call, she said I'd been lovely. But, you know, her name was Joanna. But I'm just making a note of that for future reference. But I did say I want my objections to credit hire and credit repair put on my record, please. Because ultimately, right, if it's a liability dispute and it goes to court, I'm going to have to go to court. And I don't want the court deciding that I am responsible for thousands of pounds of credit hire / credit repair when the fucking insurance company are supposed to be the ones paying for it and dealing with it. And I said, and I want the recording of this call to be Exhibit 1 in that case. I'm not, you know, and also I said, and I did say to her, look, I don't mean to be that guy, because I've already quoted at her that I've got 35-year experience in insurance. But the thing is, I'm also a qualified motor engineer. All of my qualifications are in motor vehicle engineering. And I've looked at that damage, and this car doesn't even need a new door. It could be easily repaired. And this is a day's work, in my opinion. No more than a day's work. And I'm not having somebody swinging the lead, basically racking up huge charges on my account for credit hire and credit repair on the basis that some other poor fucker's going to have to pay for it. And then, of course, knowing there's a liability argument, knowing that legally, ultimately, they could come back to me. There's a lot of blue flashing lights around at the moment, and I've now got another one coming up behind me. It's very strange. I've had one ambulance going that way and a police car, and now one ambulance coming this way. And it's, what's going on? Unless it's the same ambulance going around in circles, of course. You'd think that the ambulance that had come from ahead of me could have dealt with the incident that's ahead of me, and that the ambulance that's coming from behind me could have dealt with the incident that's behind me. But I guess that's not how logic works. And we do live in an insane world, as we know. Sorry about my appalling description of credit hire and credit repair. I'm a little bit rusty, and I'm clearly out of touch if first-party insurers are now offering this. In my day of handling claims, you would have done anything to avoid extra costs, because ultimately, right, it pushes up everyone's premium, including my own. So it's just weird to me. I don't know what sort of world I'm living in anymore. Anyway, this is I've just found a Jaffa cake, a Bakewell tart Jaffa cake. This is the bushy road, and it's already dark, because I'm fated to live in the dark. When I get home, I'm going to have to extract the dash cam footage. Excuse me, I'm now eating hula hoops. Not the toy, the crisp, obviously. Unless you thought I was some kind of gigantic space being eating actual twirly type hula hoops. I'm not. Right, it's 5 to 8, and I'm just leaving the hospital. Visited Liz, put her to bed. I'm actually a little bit worried at the moment, because I was driving down up the A3 from Wimbledon to Hazelmere, and for much of the journey I was seeing double, particularly if there was like a row of cat's eyes in the road going right I'd suddenly see two of them, and all the cars in front of me with the red lights, I was seeing double of all the cars, and I was really having to concentrate to work out where the cars were. If I got onto a bit of the A3 that had its own illumination, it was fine. And as soon as I got to the sort of B roads and country roads to visit the hospital, again, it was fine. But on the dark bits of the A3, where it's like dual carriageway and I've got lots of red lights in front of me and lots of and also, as I say, the cat's eyes in the middle of the road, I was seeing double. I don't know if it's because I'm tired or it's also raining. It's a particularly annoying type of rain because it's basically just a non-stop heavy drizzle. Not even proper rain, really. I'm very bit concerned actually that I was seeing double. What I don't want to do, dear viewer, is turn into my mother, who won't drive in the dark now, and she's also afraid of lifts for some reason, getting in elevators. A bit weird. Starts to panic. I don't want to turn into her. But anyway, yeah, so, there's always something, isn't there? Excuse me, I'm going to go home, assuming I get there without incident, without someone reversing into me and telling me it's my fault, because...
Of course.
Everything's my fault. Assuming that happens, I'm obviously going to edit this video. I'm going to take the dash cam and get the footage off of it of me being collided into. You may have to excuse any singing if I was singing at the time. And have my tea. And I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. I've been somewhere every night this week and it's killing me. I've been somewhere every day and every evening has just been screwed up, basically. Fucking hell, man. Oh, what a week. I just got to get through tomorrow at work and then I've got a weekend, but then unfortunately it all starts all over again. Hey ho. Right, unfortunately I have to clear this board, and because of today's incident we managed 36 days without an incident, and now we are at 0-0. But I'm going to make a note here that 36 is the maximum number we were previously able to reach. It's interesting how technology lets you down when you most need it, isn't it? This is the SD card from my dash cam, and number one, if I scroll down, the only files it's got from today are at 6:16 and 1942 for some reason, but the file naming is all messed up. I've gone through random files here and I know that they're files from today, but I've scoured through this because I'm thinking to myself, well, that means that my missing file has to be in here somewhere, right? Basically, it's just calling the files whatever the hell it likes. And I am absolutely buggered if I can find what I'm looking for. So just when I need my dash cam to work, it has in fact failed me. That file, 24th of November, that was 3 days ago. Yeah, that sounds about right. But I just, this, I can't find it. I can't find what I'm looking for. The formatting and everything in here is just absolutely appalling. This dash cam has really, really let me down. I got this from today. Where this is just after the accident, where I'm banging on about, you know, this guy. 630 is the number of that one, right? And I've been scouring through trying to find something, but it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, especially if it's just going to randomly rename things. I just don't know where to start. This is my dash cam, a 522 GW, and it's by Next Base, and it's let me down. It's let me down, and it hasn't recorded the very thing that I got it for, to record accidents. Do you know, it never ceases to amaze me the amount of absolute bullshit that I have to navigate through this world. You know, I buy a dash cam with the express intention of capturing whenever I have an accident. And the first time I have a fucking accident, it's not bothered to record the data. So now I've had to spend money on getting a new dash cam and SD card. I'm not wiping that one. I'm keeping it in the hope that maybe someone can recover the information. Because I think it might be on there. But it never ceases to amaze me the extent to which the world will go to completely fucking piss me off. So, we're going to end this video with something nice. This arrived today. Do you know what it is? I know what it is. It's a piece of cardboard, look. Inside this piece of cardboard is something I have wanted for 38 years. You are about to see me fulfill a 38-year desire. I'm excited. Are you? Inside here is this. It is exceedingly well packaged. It's just the excitement is just building up now. I can't actually believe I actually have this. A copy would have done me, but this is a real one. From a little known science fiction series made in 1987. Oh my God. Set in the year 2027. A series called Star Cops that I fell in love with immediately. And I've now got a genuine moon-based patch from Star Cops.